Hi, it's Allie.
And Gabby.
And we are Devious Dumplings. Let's get steamed.
That's a good one, though. I'm going to keep that in there.
that was beautiful.
That was pretty good.
We're just laughing.
I'm just really tired.
I know.
Okay. Hey, welcome to this week where we are talking about the pros and cons of con. And by con, we mean conventions.
You know, the nerd stuff that everyone likes to go to, especially us.
Comic-Cons, where you get to dress up and be a dork with all the other people who are dressed up and being a dork, and it's awesome.
It's pretty great.
So we wanted to talk about Sakuracon, which happened this last weekend.
So we just came back from Sakuracon, and it's been pretty much a week
since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. Okay, it's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. You have to keep that in now. It's been a week. It took a long time to recover. I slept for 2 days after it.
Yeah, I feel like we were both just hit really hard with just this huge wave of exhaustion because Emerald City Comic-Con was just like a month before that. I had an almost surprise trip to Idaho to visit family, and we were just both so tired by the end of it. We were tired on day 0, but we pushed through. We got through it. We did it.
I think
now we're here.
Yeah, we were really exhausted because we had a lot of plans for like an outfit we were gonna make, and we didn't end up doing that. We ended up buying stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. But we were just really tired going into con, and like also we had a lot of personal stuff happen like at the end of Emerald City into Sakuracon. So like with your trip and everything, and then my life exploding. So it's fine. Everything's fine. You know, if I say it enough, it's gonna be true. So it was a lot of fun. It was great.
What was your favorite thing about Sakuracon this last time?
This time?
Yep.
I would say it was like all of the friends I made.
Yeah, that was a highlight. And you made a lot. Like,
I know.
You're really good at it. It's harder for me.
I'm not really outgoing. Like, I hate talking to people. I honestly, like I said earlier, I don't normally say hate because, like, I was raised that was a bad word.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I'm in a social, like, situation, it's either, like, sink or swim. Like, either I'm going to be completely by myself or I'm going to have friends. And I kind of had to be the swim person because my family has parties all the time, like, growing up, and they never let me sit and read when I wanted to.
Oh.
I had to be social enough so that they wouldn't worry about me if I disappeared for, like, an hour to, like, read by myself.
No, that makes sense.
But yeah, no, One Piece brings people together. This is Allie's, card to bring in One Piece, because One Piece was my favorite part of Sakuracon, because last year it wasn't really on my radar, and I got to go, like, to a One Piece meetup, and that was where I made so many friends. Well, I made friends because of One Piece this year, that's why.
Yeah. We went to the Chef PK panel.
Oh, God, it was so cool.
Because he had a One Piece panel, and it was really cool, and we got chocolates. Allie got a really big hot cocoa bomb because she won in some One Piece trivia. I've never seen One Piece, so I did not.
but the thing is, we got there early, so we got to I got the trivia first, because they didn't think that a lot of people would be at the event, because it didn't look like it at first.
Yeah.
So they recorded us with me answering questions, and we dressed up to support Chef PK Paul, because he was dressed up as Afro Luffy, one of the absolute best Luffys there has ever been. I was Robin, and Gabby was Ace. It was really great.
I'll say the same thing that I said about, I think I said it last time, the One Piece community is just really nice in my experience, especially at conventions, because, I don't know, the cosplayers are always so sweet and friendly, and I don't know, I feel like liking One Piece is like opening a door to a bunch of friends you could have, so.
That's a really nice way to put it. There was a One Piece cosplayer, the girl we met at Sakuracon that was there with her group of friends. She was handing out stickers, like she made stickers, and she just gave them out to free for people if they came up to her and liked her cosplay.
That's sweet.
Yeah, but I mean, one day, guys, I'm going to get Gabby to watch. I think that will be one of my surprises for her. Because there's a thing called One Piece, which you can skip. It tells you which episodes you can skip.
Yeah.
And the animation for One Piece is very good. But if you're going to read it, that's also fine. But there's just different stuff. But yeah, I mean, I haven't met a mean One Piece fan yet, which I feel like now I'm cursing myself.
I mean, because, like, I know they're out there. I know I'm probably just kind of lucky with having met some cool people in the community.
We're both lucky.
But I know that I've seen some pretty shitty takes online about One Piece, and some One Piece fans suck, but that goes for every fandom and every fan base.
We have to have a couple. No one is
I don't know.
safe.
I feel like there's an underlying optimism that ties One Piece fans together. So that's something that sticks out to me as an outsider that just observes.
So you asked me what my top favorite thing was, which was making friends.
Yes.
What was yours? Was it the same thing?
Not exactly. It's still related to friends. My favorite thing was just being able to hang out with people that I love and like.
So that means me, right?
Yeah, it means you.
Oh my god.
It means Rin. It means Corey.
Yeah, I love going to con with you, actually. There's like 3 people I love going to con with, and you're in the 3.
That means I won in the friend department. That means
Gabby and I really found each other.
Yeah.
Because we do stuff, and Gabby like goes along with me, and then later she's like, okay, I really like that, even though I was tired. I was like, that was cool. I mean, more mistakes were made at Sakuracon by us.
But we learned from them.
Yeah.
We've already talked about what we can do better next time.
Yeah, like, not just at Sakuracon, but, like, at any con.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what you do at cons. You learn.
You take what you can. Like we learned that for some cons, it's really nice to have a hotel. Even though we live just a little bit away from Seattle. If we didn't get a hotel, we would be either driving or going on the ferry back and forth every day. That takes a lot of time, and if you're doing like a big involved cosplay, you don't have that kind of time, or you're getting up really early.
And you have to like worry about transportation, like transporting that stuff without anything getting ruined, your outfit getting wrinkled. But mostly, we like getting a hotel because then we can go to the late night stuff, so we can always go back to the hotel to change into another cosplay or normal clothes or party clothes, and then just go back out, have some more fun, and then be like, okay, I did the stuff I wanted to do, and I didn't have to like compromise and miss anything.
Yeah.
Like Sakuracon, like we went and rested, and then we came back for like the concert and stuff.
I think that's also just something that we've learned is that we also have to take time for ourselves. If we're really tired of just being at the convention and we have a hotel room so we can escape for a little bit, you have to let yourself do that. I know that it's a big convention floor. There's a lot to see, but you also need to like let yourself breathe. It's really overstimulating in places like that.
So now we're done talking about Sakuracon.
Yeah.
We're getting into talking about just normal con.
Yeah.
Like what we've learned is bring a jacket, no matter what.
Bring a jacket.
Please.
Bring snacks.
And water.
Ibuprofen. Mm-hmm. And I would even say bring, like, Pepto-Bismol or Tums, something for your tummy in case you eat something that does not agree with you.
And gum.
Yeah.
And deodorant. Please bring deodorant.
Just
I don't know how to say that.
Basic toiletries, it's really necessary. And then depending on if you're cosplaying or if you have a more involved cosplay, make checklists. That's been my biggest game changer. Is when I cosplayed Yellow Diamond at Emerald City Comic Con. I made a checklist because otherwise I wouldn't have remembered to bring everything. Like, there's makeup stuff, there's specific eyelashes I had for her that I wasn't going to use with any of my other cosplays. So when you have something really involved, checklists. And I can't say that enough.
I would say a checklist, like, for packing.
Yeah.
And do different sections, because like this time I had like 2 pages, because I was like, well, what electronics do I need to bring, because I had to do work stuff while I was there. Backup chargers, always bring a power bank, please, for the love of God, bring a power bank. You might not think you might not need it because you'll put your phone at low battery, but you will need it. Like, worst case scenario, you're gonna need certain things. And I always like to prepare for like anything. Like, I'll bring cute clothes, I'll bring lazy clothes, I'll bring sweats, because I'm like, I don't know. And then if, like, the hotel has a pool, or if you know someone who has a hotel with a pool, you'll be like, I'm gonna go check out that pool. Because nothing makes a con better than going to a pool to, like, relax or a hot tub, as we know. One day we'll find a hot tub, Gabby.
Well, yeah. I'm on an endless, like, goal to find a hot tub. I want to be in a hot tub. I just want to exist in a hot tub for a couple of hours. I don't think that's too much to ask, but according to the universe, it is, because I have not been in a hot tub in, like, over 2 years.
We will find one. We just started the year. We're only in April?
Yes.
I almost said March.
It's the 15th. We're halfway through April.
I thought it was the 13th. I'm 2 days behind.
You done your taxes?
Yeah, I did them months ago. I'm good. Because I'll never remember. But yeah. And then always get the app for the con, for the panels.
Yeah, or if they have a schedule book.
Yeah, do it. It helps. Like, if you want to meet someone or do something, you don't have to follow your plan. You can just mark something you thought might be interesting. So, like, whenever you get a free moment, you're like, I'm kind of done at the convention floor. I kind of want to learn something, or I want to do something fun. What's on the list? Like, what do they have going right now? What would be cool to stop in at? And then you can go to it. Because, like, a lot of conventions, they'll do, like, parties and stuff. I mean, we haven't had good luck with convention parties. But yeah, so we've learned a lot. With the aspirin thing, I would take it when you get up, when you're getting ready, like, to go into con.
Yeah.
And eat something, even if you might not feel hungry, and then pack, like, a power bar or something in your bag. Because that would always help. And then maybe set a timer on your phone so that you will have something to eat later at that time, and lots of water.
It's so easy to get wrapped up in, if you're cosplaying, you're
excitement.
finding other people that you're cosplaying, you're seeing a bunch of stuff that you like. It's really easy to lose track of time and not eat, and then all of a sudden it's been 6 hours and you haven't had a sip of water and you're gonna die. So, do, like, a timer, or make sure you have other people that, like, are healthy and have healthy habits and don't forget that kind of thing, so that you see it.
I would just set a timer. I feel like that way it's on you, not on anyone else.
That's true.
As we've learned, because when Allie does not eat for a long time, she's quiet and angry. She's Godzilla coming out of nowhere from between the buildings. But yeah, so we've learned those different things. Always, if you get a hotel, or even if you bring your car but you're not ready to leave yet, go to your car, grab a change of clothes, go somewhere and change, because you can always change your shoes, because you don't always have to be in perfect cosplay. You can be in comfortable cosplay, or you can just be in comfortable clothes because you're like, oh, I'm gonna look good when I go, or like in these kind of clothes, but your shoes could be killing you, your outfit could be killing you.
I'm a huge advocate for comfort in all aspects of life.
Gabby changes after like 3 hours.
If I'm, like, not feeling it, or if it's just too much, I will change. It's still fun for me when I do, though. It's just, I don't know.
Gabby pushes through. But the wigs are hard.
Yeah.
Wigs are difficult. This year at Sakuracon, I did change almost every day into another cosplay. So I did 2 almost every day, which was a lot for me, and I don't understand how some people can do it, but maybe it's like a youth thing.
I brought my Gojo cosplay and then didn't do it.
It's okay. I brought Nanami. I didn't really do it. I did it for like an hour.
But later that day I cosplayed Ace. And then the next day I did Nausicaa. And then the next day I did, we did Mirko. But our character variants of Mirko.
It was great. We should have brought Easter baskets or something. I should have handed out stuff for Passover.
That would have been cute. We talked about it, but I think we were just too busy.
We can do it next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun there. And this last Emerald City Comic Con was really, really great. It sucked, but it was really, really great.
Yeah.
Personally, it sucked, but at the con itself, it was amazing. So, like, if you forget everything else in your life and you just focus on con, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Like, I networked a lot.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. I didn't make as many friends, like, as at Sakuracon, but a lot of really cool stuff happened, which I felt like I had a lot of fun at the panels I went to. I had fun hanging out with my friends, like Vivian and stuff. I always love hanging out with her. And then, so I'm doing top 3. KomoriCon from November was legit my favorite con of last year. Like, actually, it's my top con that I've ever gone to.
Real?
Yeah, for real. When we went to Sakuracon, we had a lot of fun. And on day 0, night 0, we couldn't find any jackets. We got some really bomb fried chicken that one of our friends told us about, and we went to the greatest Barnes & Noble in the world. Their whole bottom floor is manga. All it is. The mall was really cool there.
It was huge.
Yeah, it was way bigger than I ever thought it was. And there was a carousel.
What was that part of, like, Portland called?
Clackamas.
Clackamas.
It's like the rich part, apparently. And then we also... I did get something that was not fun at all, which was a very bad cold, which I felt like I did pretty good with it until the last day. The last day, I was just like, I was dying.
I think
Gabby thought I died.
I think Allie runs on boba tea, where it's like she has a reserve, and when it starts to run low, she doesn't get some soon, everyone's gonna have hell to pay. Because on the last day, like, we'd already left the hotel, we went and we got some food, and even though we had food, we still needed boba so that Allie could function and get us home. So
I just remember in the car, like, I was running out of boba and I started coughing. And they're like, do we need to pull over? And I was like, no, I'm good. I just the ice is melting in the boba. I just need to keep drinking it. It's helping. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. I mean, we did so many fun things there.
I do have to thank Sakuracon for, like, reawakening my obsession with Reagan. Because what happened was I was bored because Allie was doing a couple of interviews somewhere. And so I was just wandering around. I found the AMV theater. And so I was like, what could go wrong? I'll just kill a couple hours in here. Or whatever amount of time. And so I sit in there and there's this AMV of Reagan to Boss Ass Bitch. And ever since seeing that, it, like, rewired my brain. And I was
really
like obsessed with Reagan.
He'll be like the third person on this podcast.
I have a Reagan shrine in my room. I can take a picture of it and, like, post it on our social media, but Reagan is life. That's all I'll say.
I hadn't watched Mob Psycho till after we left Sakuracon.
Oh yeah, because
when I was sick, I was watching it because I was home for a week. I barely left my bed, and then I would just come out to the couch and I'd pass out, and I watched it and I would message you. I even finished Mob Psycho before Gabby did. Gabby just have you finished 3rd season yet? No, she's been messaging me and freaking out about everything that's happened, and I'm like, this is what I felt like, and you weren't there for me. But no, Sakuracon was, like, awesome. It felt like it lit a fire inside me about, like, all of these ideas of stuff to do. And that's where we were, like, really excited to do even more with the podcast, like, make it real. Yeah. And there were so many really cool cosplayers, too. My God, those guys, like, running around screaming. And then people doing a cheer routine for My Hero Academia. Yeah. I was like, what is going on? And that's where we met really nice people. We got interviewed for a message for one of the Japanese bands, Burnout Syndromes. We got to see them play and meet them and get the autographs. We even got to check out the burlesque show, and that was kind of awkward. A little bit. Yeah. And then we went to dinner, and we went to a pub that was right next to a cat adoption place. We almost took home some cats, because they were really cute. Have I ever told you about my dad and I walking into an AMV theater at Sakuracon? We've done it twice. The first time was great. It was about Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann. Every way that it said. And that was great, because then I got a whole bunch of stuff for it, but the other one was wrong. We walked in, and I have never been like, we need to leave immediately, Dad. Because it was when I was younger. I don't know what the anime was, but there was a reason a lot of guys were in that theater. Oh. The girl was, like, with her foot. I mean, it was closed, but...
Like a foot job?
But, like, there was clothes. Like, she was stepping on him, and then it turned into that. And it was just one foot. And I was like, my dad's like, do you know what's going on? I'm like, no, I have no idea. Can we please leave? I think there's a different panel happening. My dad used to take me to con when I was younger. That was, like, how we bonded. And, like, you can't go by yourself when you're a minor. So, like to a lot of cons, actually, even Emerald City. Oh, really? Yeah, but my dad would take me to Sakuracon, because that was the only one I knew about then. Mm-hmm. It was really great. My dad and I had a really great time. I have a lot of stories. But, yeah, so that happened. But yeah, I had a lot of fun at CornerCon. That was a really, really amazing one. I honestly can't wait to go back. There was so much food. We even took, like, one of the days, like the second day, we were, like, really just strung out, and we'd only been at the convention for, like, 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And we left, changed, and went and saw Portland. And we got giant gourmet s'mores at this place that I know about there. Checked out Kinokuniya, went to Powell's bookstore, and we went to a Big Red store to get Allie some cold medicine.
She was gonna die.
I really was.
I'm not exaggerating, but she was like a breath away from death. I was really worried about her. I wanted to drive home because I was worried that she wouldn't be able to, but she was like, no,
we were safe.
I can get us home. And I was like, okay, it's your car. All right. And we made it, but it was like touchy there. I remember waking up on the last day.
Oh, Sunday, yeah, she thought I died.
And, well, she woke up at like 4 a.m. and then like got up out of the bed and went to our bagels, because we brought some bagels to have for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, we went to the grocery store.
Oh, wait, no, I got up to go pee, right? And then I came out and you're like, can you get me a bagel? And I was like, okay. I didn't say, I was like, it's 4 a.m, but I was like, okay, whatever. I guess Allie wants a midnight snack. And so I give her a bagel. And she eats it, but then she checks her phone and she's like, oh, I don't need to be up. We go back to sleep. But she was like croaking.
When I woke up, I was like, why does my mouth taste terrible? Like, what is this taste? Like, they weren't bad bagels, but you know when you wake up and you hadn't brushed your teeth? I had, but then apparently I'd eaten something, so... Mm-hmm. I was like, and then I kept trying to get up out of the bed or sit up, and you're like, are you okay? I was like, no!
There were like 4 different like times you were gonna start getting up and getting ready, and you were like, not yet. I need a little more time.
I rolled onto my front, and I was like, okay. No, it was just the 3rd day. I even bombed the one interview I had, which was the most important interview, because I was like, we wore masks at Sakuracon, like everyone else, and in the interviews I did too, but I had put in a cough drop before I did the interview, and I'm like, you are not going to cough at all. Your voice is going to sound husky, and that's fine, Allie. You sound great with a husky voice. Like this, like all smoky or whatever. And I was just like, I need to do the most limited amount of questions and then leave. Because my eyes were watering, because I'm trying to hold back and coughs. But on the second day, you could tell I was like, well, end of Friday, I was like going downhill, and then Saturday you were like, we need to get you cold medicine, like buy the jumbo bag of cough drops. But we found that really cool Japanese store, like where they hand make all that stuff. We got some awesome socks. Gabby loves these socks. She talks about them all the time, and for the holidays, I bought her more.
They're the ones with, like, the big toe separate from the other toes.
For sandals. I don't
know why.
It's for sandals.
I know, but I'm saying I don't know why I love them so much.
They're very comfortable, and they were, like, the cheapest thing in that store.
They're awesome.
But, yeah, so that was, like, that's actually my top favorite con. Emerald City is very close second. I'm sorry, Emerald City, I love you. You're my hometown con. We just gotta work on some stuff together. And then... Rose City last year for me was a lot of fun. I went to a lot of cons last year. But Rose City was a lot of fun. I stayed with my friend Vivian, who is a professional cosplayer, and honestly, whenever I go to a con with her, I kind of just want to hang out with her, because she knows, like...
She knows them in and out, front and back.
Yeah, she knows everything, and she's so much fun, and she knows all the great places to eat. I made so many new friends and connections through her, like Chef PK and his wife Rachel. So everything, and just like all these other people who are like artists or vendors and stuff, and they're just super nice. And then she just gives me really good life advice.
Yeah. And
cosplay advice too, so that's always great for me. But yeah, so those are the things I really liked. I'm really looking forward to the cons this year. I'll be able to share more at a later date. Right now, everything is secret.
We are thinking about SummerCon.
Yeah, that one looks That's
awesome.
What I have Death Note cast there. We have to go.
I know, but it also has the Next Generation cast. So, like, I know my brothers are going to want to go to Star Trek.
Okay.
Star Trek The Next Generation, but there's also, like, old school Star Wars people going there. I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be fun. And it's a really new con.
It started last year, right?
Yeah.
It started last year. We knew some people that went, and I really wish I had gone last year.
I almost went last minute because I found out about it, like, the day before it was going to start, but they still had tickets on sale. So I was texting my brother. I was like, would you go with me if you could? And he was like, yes. And then I, like, thought about it for more than 2 seconds, and I was like, I can't.
I'll go with you.
Well, I mean,
it's one day.
We're planning on it.
Yeah, we're planning on going to that one.
I know about it. Like,
we're going to try and do Komoricon again since that was so much fun.
Yeah.
For me, I also want to go to Geek Girl Con. It's going to be 3 days this year instead of... Well, no, it's going to be 2 days. Sorry. 2 days this year. Last year was 1. It normally is 2 days. It's normally Friday, Saturday. It's a really nice, small con, and it's, like, a lot about, like, making connections and networking and learning, because it's a lot about, like, people who code and science, but it's also, like, nerdy stuff, so you can talk to people about other things, too. So I really like it. I'm going to see about volunteering to help with some of their stuff, because remember, we saw their booth at Sakuracon in Emerald City, and they're looking for people, like, to be on their board and help with stuff, and I thought it'd be fun to learn that part of con aspect.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting, too.
Yeah, like, and if it's terrible, I'll just be like, I can't do this.
Behind the scenes, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would be fun. I'm gonna go to Rose City this year. That's always a yes for me. Gabby's thinking about it.
I may be able to, but I also may not. So, we'll see.
A couple of my other friends from work, my acquaintances, well, friends. David's a friend. David's always a friend.
David's a friend.
He said he's thinking about going, and he is, like, one of the best bosses that anyone could ever dream of having. And I wish he was my direct boss.
David's pretty cool.
It's like Saint David.
We'd always talk about, whenever I was on at the same time as him, we'd talk about Star Wars or South Park or, I don't know, David's just cool.
He's just, and he's also, like, the nicest guy you will ever meet.
And he's funny.
Yeah, and he's so sweet.
David deserves the world.
Yeah, David, you deserve it. I hope you're listening today.
We're part of the David fan club.
Woo, David!
Woo, David!
Yeah, so that looks fun. Rose City is a bit more of, like, an adult con, though. Because they do, like, a lot of drinking stuff, like drink and draw, which I think would be fun, even though I can't draw for anything.
To do that. So
that's
it's like,
why I think you should go.
If I can, I really want to.
And we don't have to go on the last day. We can do, like, other stuff in Portland and then leave early.
Okay.
That's what I did last year. I just ate with Viv, and I ate at a ramen place. There's also a dumpling place that we need to check out. But the ramen place was legit, and it's right next to the dumpling place.
Okay.
It's in Clackamas.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's, like, a lot of fun things coming up. I have 4 or 5 more cons I might be going to. Right now they're up in the air. I'm nervous because that's a lot, and they're in the later part of the year, very close together, so that means Allie has, like, 3 months to work on cosplay that's good for traveling and would love to wear and comfortable. So that's what I'm going to get started on soon.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So what are your questions for me? Let's wrap this up. We talked a lot about David. Sorry, David. We talked a lot about food and Allie dying at con.
Alright, we're gonna segue into the questions we have for each other about the subject. And my first question for Allie is... Oh man, I already asked that. Like, I just asked that. I was like, of all the conventions you've been to, which is your overall favorite?
We did it. We already did that. Yay for us.
What's your all-time dream convention? As the second part of that question.
Like, one I would love to go to?
Yes.
Oh, God. There's, like, 2 that I've always dreamed about going to. Obviously, the Mecca, which is San Diego Comic-Con. I would cry. And I don't cry. I would cry and scream. And if I ever go to San Diego, if I ever find out I'm going to San Diego, there will be a video of, like, almost like an acceptance letter for college, but it'll be in San Diego, I think. And then, like, Anime Expo.
Anime Expo
or
looks like a lot of fun.
Like a lot going on.
But also just so overwhelming.
Someone told me that when they lived over in San Diego, or, like, for Anime Expo or whatever, that on the last day they just had free admissions, like on Sunday, and they would always go. And they're like, do they still do that? I'm like, I doubt they would.
Yeah.
Thousands and millions of dollars. But yeah, so San Diego, obviously the Mecca, it'd be Anime Expo. And like New York City, like either their Comic-Con or their Anime Con that they do in the end of the year. I would love to go there.
Oh, what's that con called? What is that?
The anime one? Anime New York.
No, is it Anime
NYC.
Yeah, Anime NYC, duh.
That one looks really cool. Last year I was like crying watching everything on TikTok because One Piece took over Times Square and I was like, I'm just here at home watching this, putting on my straw hat.
I just remember in 2021, I think it was 2021, or maybe... Yeah, it must have been 2021 in December when Anime NYC was going on, and it was like ground zero for the
everything
for the Delta variant of COVID.
Oh,
it was first detected at the con from a con goer, and of course it's a convention, so it's gonna spread like crazy. So you have anime fans to thank for the Delta variant of COVID.
And you have our state to thank for like the first deaths of COVID. We're kind of cursed.
Woo,
apparently
Washington, we have patient 0.
They were old, but that doesn't mean anything. But no, those are my dream ones. What are yours? Like, what's your all-time favorite? Because you didn't answer that, and you didn't answer what your dream one is.
Well, my all-time favorite con, I think, is probably Emerald City, just because first con, I've been going to it since I was 15, almost 10 years in 2 years.
Wow.
I will have been going to every single one they've had. They didn't have a 2021, but I still have my passes for the 2021.
The con that never happened.
The con that never was. Yeah, just because at Emerald City, I feel like I'm more familiar with the area. I usually can hang out with some of my family or friends that are there. I try to meet up with people when I can. I don't know. It's just fun. Not too far from home. And also, I think the biggest convention in the Pacific Northwest. So, but my all-time dream con, San Diego Comic-Con for sure, and then maybe Dragon Con.
Oh yeah, I want to go to Dragon Con. That just seems...
But
you get tired so easily.
But also New York Comic Con. I don't know. I watch a lot of convention videos, and most of the ones I really like are from, like, New York Comic Con panels. Yeah. But I know that that's just, like...
Well, the thing about, like, San Diego and New York City is they always have really good guests because guests don't want to come here because it's cold. And it's closer to where they work, too.
That's true.
So, like, they get the big ticket names. Like, if
Although...
I don't see Chris Evans at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm going to be really disappointed. But they also bring the mangakas, the people who write...
The mangakas.
Mangakas, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Because, like, okay, Naruto, Kishimoto, he came to a New York City Comic-Con, and I remember it was, like, going to be my 18th? No, it was going to be my 20th birthday or 21st birthday. And my family asked me, what is the one thing you would, like, ever want? And I'm like, it would be to meet him. And he's going to be in New York City. And we couldn't get tickets for New York City Comic Con because it was way too late, obviously. Aww. It was okay. But I was totally fine not going to the con. But he was going to do a thing at Barnes & Noble. And we had talked to, like, Barnes & Noble or whatever that were there. And they're like, honestly, it's a week till the convention right now. And there's people camped out for him. And there is a limit to who's getting in. Because their idea was, like, just go to the Barnes & Noble, get the signature, and come home. And, like, get to meet him. Which would have been the greatest day of my life. Even if I was only in New York for, like, 5 hours, that would have been worth every bit to me. Because I loved Naruto so much. And that was, like, that was, like, when the end of Naruto came out. That was, like, a big thing. Yeah. It's okay, like... It's been years.
Does he still go to cons?
No. That was, like, the first time he ever left Japan. Ever.
Well, I don't know these things.
Because he's, like, on a break from doing manga because he never got a break, even for his wedding.
Oh.
So, strange question. Not, like, crazy. Do you keep your passes? And, like, what do you do with them from conventions?
I do keep my passes, and I hang them all from the same, like, hook. So that they're all just, like, hanging together, but I don't know. It's just a little
maybe
souvenir, little memorabilia.
I have every pass. Like, I have the old clip-on ones from Sakuracon.
I don't think I have every single pass from every con, just because I've moved from my mom's to my own place, and I don't think
they made it.
I don't. But I have like most of my passes.
Maybe we should do an arts and craft day and like make something, like not cut them up,
like an art project.
Yeah, like we can make them into something, because you know, like in Twilight, yes, I'm gonna bring up Twilight. They made a joke with all of their like the graduation hats, and they made like a big mural with it. That would be cool.
Oh, like we just like layered them.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
I have a lot of passes. There's only one con I don't have the pass. Like I have it somewhere, but it's not like a lanyard or anything, or even a clip-on. It's just a wristband.
Oh.
But it was a big con. It was like in Canada, which was the only time I've ever been to Canada was for this con, which was kind of strange. They thought I was getting kidnapped.
Oh.
But yeah, who has been the coolest person you've ever met at a con?
Like celebrity-wise?
I mean, sure. Like artist, celebrity, singer, songwriter, I don't know.
Well, at Emerald City...
Me?
I didn't meet you at a con.
Okay, I know, but we reconnected at a con.
That's true.
Thank you, Sakuracon, last year for doing that for us.
Yeah, we hung out on the Saturday.
And I drove her home.
I didn't have anybody to hang out with.
I like that I'm my last choice.
No, you were the first choice.
You're the only choice.
Well, yeah, you were the only choice. I was like, who am I friends with? I was like, I guess I'm kind of friends with Allie.
Oh, it wasn't last year Sakuracon. It was one before then. Because I wasn't with Corey.
It was 2022, I think.
So maybe it was...
Yeah, it was.
We're gonna have to fact check this, because I wasn't with Corey.
You weren't with Corey.
No, and last year I went with her.
Hold on.
We don't know the logistics.
Emerald City in December. That's when we reconnected.
That's right, because I was alone after the first day. That's right. Okay. Thank you, Emerald City. Because they did two very close together. It's really hard to remember.
Yeah. I lost track of what we were talking about.
The question was celebrity or someone that you've met. Like, who was the coolest one that you've met?
Well, at Emerald City this last time, I met Jennifer Hale. And she's one of my all-time favorite
I know this
actors, voice actors.
Tell them why.
I love Mass Effect to death. And she blows Shepard out of the water. And I just love her so much. This is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, but we're doing 2 mini-sodes, so I'm not super worried about it.
No, it's fine. I think this is like a chill one. Like, this is what you wanted. Because you didn't want it to be as long. For me, the most my favorite person that I've met at a con, famous-wise, well, one, I know my friend Sarah is going to be screaming at this if I don't say it. And honestly, it's just screaming in my head, is Brendan Fraser I met last year at Emerald City. Greatest 2 seconds of my life. Because that's as long as the photo lasted, was 2 seconds. He winked at me, guys. Brendan Fraser knew me for 2 seconds. I breathed the same air as him. I was in the same space. Our photo is so cute together. We had the plexiglass wall between us, which was fine. I was sad, but it was, you know what? At least I got to, like, see him and breathe the same air as him. I almost cried. I was, like, starting to cry when I walked up to him, and I almost cried, like, when I left. Because The Mummy is my favorite movie. I have a top 5, and The Mummy is always in it. It is never not in it.
The Mummy's
and it's my comfort movie. Like, when I am low on Allie energy, I will rewatch certain movies. When Gabby and I worked together, she would see me at work. She's like, how are you doing? I saw that you watched this movie 15 times this week. And I'm like, I'm having a rough time. It would either be The Mummy.
It was the same scene of the same movie. Just Pride and Prejudice. When she's, like, looking at the hands. Like she would post that scene, like, multiple times throughout that week. And I was like, girl, what's going on?
My other favorite scene is from The Mummy when they're racing on the camels. And Evie is beating Brendan Fraser, Rick O'Connell. And she doesn't mean to be beating him in the thing. Her camel's just going really fast. She's like, oh boy. And how he looks at her and he's smiling and his smile is like crooked. I love it. I'm like, that's when he falls in love with her. I love that moment. That's like one of my favorite moments.
The Mummy is really good, and
it holds up.
It's nostalgic for me too, because we'd watch it as a family when I was younger. And
I can quote that movie. That's how bad it is. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite people I've ever met. I've gotten to meet a lot of the Doctor Who cast that I love, because I was really big into Doctor Who.
Yeah. I've met River Song.
I know. I met her. I almost cried because I used to watch her in ER.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, I loved you in ER. Like, I grew up with you.
Aww.
And she hugged me because of that.
Aww.
And I'm like, wasn't even for the photo. She's just
That's
like,
so
you're so
sweet.
darling. And I'm like, I actually hugged her. I remember I got to meet John Barrowman. He plays.
Oh, he's cool. I love him.
Jack Harkness. I told Vivian.
He's going to Sakuracon too.
He is?
Yeah.
He's great. He's really funny. And right after I hugged him, I remember I was like, he hugged me. Like, a huge bear hug. Just, I was young. That was like so one of my early cons. And just huge, huge bear hug. And I was so dazed afterwards, and I told Vivian. She immediately grabbed me, like, oh no, that wasn't the one she hugged me by. I got to meet Claire Eloise from The Princess Bride, and I wasn't, because I was helping a friend out, and he was doing photo shoots and signatures, and he needed someone to get his Princess Bride book signed, and I'm like, oh, I'll fall on that sword for you. At least I get to meet him, because I didn't really have a whole bunch of money to meet him to do signature or photo, so I'm like, yeah, I'll help you, and I'll get the sign for you, to you, and I get to, like, be around him. It was, like, the most holiest moment of my life. Which is weird, because it was, like, all curtained off, even go up to his table to get a signature. And I was like, okay. And I go in. And now I understand, like, all the people who came out of the curtain, why they had that look on their face. That dazed, enlightened, glowing look.
Yeah.
And when he saw me, he came around the table and he hugged me. It took me an hour to, like, form words, and Vivian ran up to me and she asked, like, got out of me what had happened, and she, thrust herself onto my body and hugged me, and she's like, I got him his secondhand hug. And I was like, okay, yeah, okay, what has been your, like, have you ever had, like, a weird reaction, like, with, like, a funny thing that's happened, that's, like, a good funny story at con, or with a celebrity?
Yes. So I don't remember what year it was. I want to say 2018. My brother Donovan and I.
The Donovan?
Yeah, I know. Like, I got to hang out. I was blessed to be in his presence.
Oh my god, that must have been so expensive.
Donovan and I were hanging out because we would always split. I have a big family, so we'd always maintain the buddy system and split off in pairs. And this was Donovan and my time. We went to go meet Nolan North, the voice actor, and
Nick's favorite person.
Yeah.
Nick, this is for you.
Donovan was really excited. Donovan's always been super into Call of Duty and a lot of the other stuff that he voices in. And I like Nolan North. I think he's really cool, but for some reason, wasn't placing everything that I knew him in until we got up to the table. And I see, this was right after I had played Portal for the first time, or Portal 2. I finished Portal 2, and Nolan North plays the little spheres at the end of the game. He plays the space one, and he plays the, like, action hero one. I think there's another one, but it's been a while since I've played. He did Uncharted too. I know. But that's what I was really excited is that I saw that he voiced these spheres. And so I go up there and, like, I was like, all right. Donovan and I were like, we can both ask him a couple questions. So I start asking him questions, and he just starts talking about how much fun it was playing Portal. And he's really engaged with me, and we're talking and having a conversation, and then all of a sudden we're, like, moved along. Donovan got to ask, like, one question, and he, like, turns to me, he's like, what the fuck? And, I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't even realize that, like, I was doing that to you, I'm so sorry. And my other brother was going to come the next day, and Connor's always been a fan of Nolan North as well. Connor loves Uncharted, and Call of Duty as well. And so I tell Donovan, I was like, okay, we can go again. I'll pay for your I'll pay for your thing because I know you really want to get some time talking to him. So the next day, the three of us go. And he remembers Donovan and I. And he's like, oh, back again? And we're like, yeah, but we brought someone else. And then I just kind of hang in the back because I was like, I cannot steal anybody's thunder again.
I thought that would have been a better story.
Well, I felt so bad for stealing his thunder that I gave him another chance. And that was that's a good little memory I have.
For me, it's very clear. I will never forget this. It was mortifying. Because I met... God, it was MLT. I think it was the last year I ever went with my sister, because that was awful. Taking a young or teenager with you to a convention, they give you a lot of sass normally. It's 20,000 times worse at a con. But I got to meet Dante Basco, who is the voice actor and actor. He played Rufio in the Peter Pan with Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. He's done so much. He was Jake Long, the dragon.
Zuko.
Yes, he was Zuko. I was waiting for last. Thank you for taking my thunder for that.
Sorry.
I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I will never watch it again because I want to keep my memories as it was. But that was a really big first fandom for me. I love it so much. I know my friend, my homie out there, Ethan, hopefully if he's listening, loves this voice actor too. Because he's absolutely amazing, just phenomenal. And I got to meet him. I've gotten to meet him 3 times. The first time was very strange. My sister and I were staying in a hotel that was partnered with Emerald City Comic Con. It was the hotel. We had gone swimming, but you have to go down to the main lobby and into another elevator to go to the pool, since it's in a weird tower. We had come back and there were so many people trying to go back up the normal elevators that we needed, but I was not going to be shoved into an elevator with a whole bunch of people, especially some people who were vaping or whatever. I was like, nah, we're going to wait because I don't want to get stuck in an elevator. Mm-hmm. And there's so many. I'm like, so we can wait. I'm like, there's so many people thinning out the herd right now. It's going to be fine. So I turned to the elevators behind us that we had just gotten out of from the pool from the other side of the hotel. And you're like, well, this story doesn't sound bad. Well, I was still soaking wet from the pool. I didn't want to put my clothes back on, so I just had my bikini top on and a towel kind of wrapped around my hips a little bit. Mm-hmm. At least I had flip-flops on. Because I was just done. I was tired. It was a lot dealing with a hormonal teenager girl. And it had been a long night. We had done a lot of stuff. And I was just people watching. See all these men, very serious, all come down. Kind of almost like a boy band group, it looked like. But they were not boys, they were men. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? So they'd come out, get back on after they gathered more, these guys, go back up, come back down with more people. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Just watching, curious, coming up with conspiracy theories. And next thing I know, they come out with somebody else. They have a couple people with them, then they go back up, and this man is here with 3 or 4 people, kind of off in a corner, away from all the fans, but nobody's paying attention. It's just me, soaking wet, in a bikini top, staring and looking around, and him and I lock eyes for a good 10 minutes. 10 full, uninterrupted minutes, we staring at each other.
10 minutes?
It was 10 minutes of eye contact. I kid you not. Straight up. And I'm not pausing to cut this out. I'm pausing because I'm trying to figure out how else to say this. I could see the exact moment in his eyes when he knew that I knew who he was. It was Dante Basco. And I think he knew that, I was just, I don't know, you kind of zone out, but you're staring at someone, you guys are locking eyes, and you're like, yeah. Do I know this person? And he could see the crazy in my eyes, I guess. The acknowledgement. And as soon as I realized who he was, and my face kind of changed a little bit, I wasn't oh my God. I don't know. I think I was just oh God. I look like this. We've been staring at each other for 10 minutes. What? And then the rest of his guys came back. He looked at me almost like he nodded. And then they all left together. And I'm just what the fuck just happened? And his sister just kept calling him Dante Tabasco. And I'm like, shut up. And then we just got back to the hotel room. I just face planted into the bed. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. That was it. That was it. And my sister just kept singing Dante Tabasco. And then I met him the next day. And I got a photo with him. And my phone died as soon as they took the photo. Oh. So someone else had to take the photo and send it to my phone.
We can have an Allie meets Dante Basco part 4, would it be?
Yeah, because I met him again that December. Because it was Hanukkah.
Would you be able to do press for SummerCon? Do you think you could do that? Talk to your editor?
I gotta talk to them. I mean, it's their new con. I have to email them.
You could get an interview with Dante Basco.
I have gotten one with him. It was very, very tiny, but if I could get a real one with him, I would die. Because
that'd be cool.
I interviewed him once. That was at the December Emerald City. It was Hanukkah, so it was rough. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, look at Spider-Gwen and a Star of David. I'm like, well, it's Hanukkah, so I'm trying to be a little Jewish. I'm here. It's not really great. That's actually where I met one of the greatest artists that I've been friends with since then. We met her at KamoriCon, and she was so nice. Cool. She came around and gave me a hug, and I was like, no, I have a cold. And she's like, no, I don't care. She's like, us Jew homies have to, like, stick together. And I'm like, I love you so much. And I love buying her stuff. But yeah, I met him there, and it was like 5 seconds. Totally unprepared. I would like to say my friend Ethan walked up with me, because he's like, yeah, moral support, because I was so nervous. I turned around when we got to the table. He was gone. He wasn't even in the room. He had disappeared. Ethan I thought he was a magician. And then as soon as it was over, he was back. I was like, where the hell have you gone? What have you done? But it was a brave moment. I actually met Nolan North at that one too. And I bombed the interview so hard. Like, he's friends with Nick, and Nick went up with me, and I did the interview, and I'm like, Nick, I was not prepared, and I hate being unprepared for absolutely anything. That's why I don't like surprises that much, unless it's a good surprise and I know I can, like, pull it off. Yeah. I felt so bad. I was like, Nick, can you just tell him how sorry I am? I know I blew it. And he's like, he thought it was really funny. And I know more now than I knew then. Like, I knew it was him when I watched Uncharted. I was like, that's Nolan North. He did the original voice for the character. Mm-hmm. And I think he did one of the Ninja Turtles. He did my favorite. I think he did Raphael.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember that was on the poster behind him. That was amazing. Raphael is my favorite Ninja Turtle because it is me. I am Raphael. But yeah, I think we're good for our episode now. I think we're good. We talked about embarrassing stuff. We talked about fun stuff. We talked about a lot of things. A lot of shout-outs. Ethan, David, Nick, I hope you all enjoy this. I really do. Future Gabby, I love you. Thank you for editing this. For everything. I'm sorry if I gulped too much.
It's okay. Future Gabby is going to have... Future Gabby's probably going to take an edible. And chill. And edit this.
Have fun with this, Gabby. I really hope you do. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to future Gabby.
There's a lot to do, so...
Future Gabby.
Maybe wait until after doing the edible. This is just me talking to me. I'm not going to put that in the podcast. But, like, this one's a long one. There's a lot you need to edit, so maybe just wait.
At least we paused a lot for you. But future Gabby, I need you to do something for future Allie.
Okay.
Just, send her more snaps of you singing, please. It really brightens up her day.
Okay. I'll send you one when I listen to this.
Can you sing again?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Princess Peach at the end of the line. I'll make you mine. Oh.
It's really good. Gabby, future Gabby, there's your treat. So get high and listen to that. Be like, this rocks. I have an amazing voice. Like, yeah, you do.
Thanks for joining us. And
we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Oh, look forward to our mini-sodes.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.